A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where Lyft comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. Lyft. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at Lyft have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to Lyft. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with Lyft was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community. Hello, and welcome to Living Well in Montana. Living Well in Montana is a program provided to you by Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow, or LIFT. LIFT is a nonprofit here in Billings that we service the southeastern 18 counties of Montana, and we are a center for independent living whose mission it is to empower aging and disabled community to live happy and healthy lives. My name is Tanya Thomas. I will be your host for today. I'm LIFT's Peer Program Coordinator. And here in the studio with me, I have Rachial Combs. Rachial is our community health worker, among many things, Rachial. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, of course, as the title suggests, we're here today to talk about a community health worker. And so to start us out, could you just give us a little bit of information about what it is that a community health worker is and kind of what they do?
So community health workers are the bridge between healthcare and the community. So basically, as a community health worker, I am a translator from anywhere from the hospital to the CDC. I explain a lot of the vaccinations or different protocols that they're putting in place. I also participate in the county surveys that we just did for this last August 25th. It closed to see the needs of the Yellowstone County. And I as well attend doctor's appointments with people, do home safety visits, and I just help people with whatever they need.
That's fantastic. I don't know if a lot of people know about what a community health worker does, but can I ask you how you came to be interested in community health work?
So I have worked in healthcare since I was 18. I started out as a patient safety attendant, and then I moved to being a CNA. I learned a lot and saw the healthcare system from the inside, and then I've also seen it from the outside, being a family member of some sick people, and just being able to help in such a unique way and walk you step through step in navigating the healthcare system. And being able to just share the experiences that I've either learned through working in healthcare or through life has been why I came to healthcare.
I love that.
I mean,
so it's kind of
worker.
always been a part of what you've done.
Yeah.
Pardon me. What kind of services, I know you did talk a little bit about those in the beginning, what kind of help are you able to provide for people that come needing your services?
So I do a lot of, in majority, like attending doctor's visits with consumers and helping be an advocate for them, but also before the doctor's appointment, talking about what your concerns are for the doctor's appointment and what questions you want to make sure that you ask. And I help go over every single one of those in order for them to feel more confident in their doctor's appointment, and so then they have a person there that they trust. I like to build that relationship before the doctor's appointment with them as well, so then they actually have that solidified relationship of someone they can trust and work with. And just basically on top of the doctor's visits, I help remind them after the doctor's appointment that what the doctor wanted them to do, especially if they need help remembering stuff like a diet change, or they need to be moving around more during the day, or they need to take this certain medication. I help them organize medications, and I do home safety checks, and I do...
Now, what's involved in a home safety check?
So basically in community health or preventable health care, you gotta see their whole life. So like the doctor, when you're in the hospital, tests you to see what's going on in your body. Community health is all about what's happening on the outside of you, environmentally. So say that you have a really cluttered house and that's why you fell. So I would be coming in and being like, okay, so the year needs to be more of a pathway. I know you really like your stair decorations for Christmas, but maybe we don't decorate on the bottom of the stairs and maybe just on the rails because you need a clear walkway. Or say that you're drinking some really old soda and that's what's causing your blood sugar to spike or switching just small things on outside of the healthcare system that will make you healthier.
Oh, I learned something new today. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of particular or certain health problems that you see more of in this field of service, or that you've maybe dealt with more?
Honestly, I've gotten a good mix of everything. That's what the most interesting part of this is that I've gotten to see people from every walk of life. I have everyone from younger to older, and I've gotten to help with a bunch of different kinds of healthcare issues and scenarios, and basically just be that supportive person through all of the changes.
So when you say that you're a bridge, how is that bridge helping them to be provided with the care that they need? So you're a bridge from the medical professional, the medical setting?
Yeah. So I'm more of like a translator. So
Okay.
when I say that I'm a bridge, because sometimes your doctor talks to you and he's talking really fast and you don't understand all of what he's saying. And then you come out into the community and you don't know how to put that into real life. So I am the bridge between the doctor's office and real life. And I help bridge the gap so then you know what to do in between.
I love that. Have you had an experience as a patient maybe being overwhelmed or maybe not feeling heard from your physicians? Have you had personal information that's helped you in this area?
Honestly, coming in with a list when I was going through some health issues, coming in with a list of my concerns and writing down what my symptoms were specifically and knowing what I was asking about. Because some people go to these doctor's appointments and they have no idea what they're asking about. They just know that something's wrong. So keeping a track of when did the symptoms start, what symptoms are you experiencing, how often does this happen, and has it ended yet, or does it come back, or is it linear, stuff like that. Is it genetic? Is there something that you're worried about past this? Like, you have to know what you're talking about before you go into the doctor's appointment almost. Like, doctors are really great, but they're not mind readers, and they don't have a lot of time.
That's a really good point. That was along the lines of my next question was, how do you, I know that preparedness is definitely kind of your best friend when it comes to, do you find that it makes the people that you work feel better being prepared going into these situations?
I've been told that it makes them feel better that they know what questions they were going to ask right away. And I also, if they want, print out the questions for them so then they can have it in their hands so then they won't forget at the appointment. And then that way they get to advocate for themselves, and I just sit there and I try to listen while they advocate for themselves at their doctor's appointments. And a lot of people have told me that they feel very encouraged for that and they haven't needed my services again.
What so far has been the best part of, now how long have you, first I'll ask you, how long have you been a community health worker?
I've been a community health worker since January, the beginning of January.
And is there training involved?
Yes, I had to take a certification course through University of Montana, and it was just a course that started in April, and I just got certified on the 2nd of September. But I got to work as a community health worker during the time.
That's wonderful. That's extensive training. Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have any stories you can tell us, perhaps success stories or maybe just stories of helping, of being there, being that support? Anything like that that you could share with us?
I had a consumer who was terrified of the doctor. They hadn't been to the doctor in 4 years. They had a lot of life goals on top of just going to the doctor. They wanted to make friends, feel more confident to go and live their life, feel more confident to go do karaoke or go hang out at a bar and go to trivia nights. But they were also experiencing these horrible symptoms of just feeling icky and sick, and then finally convincing them to go to the doctor, they started feeling better. They found out they had a vitamin deficiency and they were struggling from that, and that's what was making them feel so sick. And then they got some mental health help after the encouragement of going to the doctor, and they actually heard them and they started feeling better. They started feeling even more awesome after getting mental health help, and they're a very independent and fun person to be around.
I love that.
And they feel super confident about going into the world now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you find that people are apprehensive when they first come to you in starting these processes? Do you find that there's apprehension? Are they nervous? Are they unwilling? Every single time. Every single time.
Because they've had a lot of rough experiences before, whether it be with a doctor or a nurse, or even like in public health, like the public assistance office, and they've just been kind of beaten down by life. So when they come into my office, I have to, like I told you, establish that relationship before they're ready to listen to me, because you're not going to listen to someone that you just met unless you like lay out a good groundwork and a good plan. And I don't know, like I almost end up sharing my heart with every single one of these people. I want them to live their best life, and I want them to feel better. And that's just what I tell them. Like, it's one of those things, like, you deserve to feel good. You deserve to take back power of your life.
Oh, I love that. That's phenomenal. So, Rachial, can you tell me how does the medical staff, how do the physicians, how do they feel? How do they perceive you and your service when you're coming in and you are participating with their clients? How do they, what kind of response have you gotten?
I've had actually two completely like polar responses. One end of the spectrum, they're very happy that I'm there, and they're very happy for another person to be there to listen. On the other side of the spectrum, they're very uneasy. They don't know who I am or what a community health worker is. So I tell them a lot about Lyft, and I tell them where I come from, and I give them a business card. I try to come prepared with pamphlets and stuff like that. And then usually after I explain who I am and where I come from, they're very excited to work with me. And then they say that they'll keep my card for future reference for other patients.
I love it. So I would have thought they would have known more about community health workers. So they don't?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
That really surprises me. That's wonderful then. So you're a bridge in more than just one way.
Yeah.
You're a bridge for our consumers and getting to their physicians, but you're also a bridge for information and resource. I love that. That is phenomenal. That was my next question, so I'm glad we kind of just talked about it right now. What's your favorite part of doing what you do?
My favorite part is the light bulb moment. The light bulb moment where like things that they were really confused about or really scared about just finally start making sense. They finally start working the way that they need to, and things start just feeling better. Like that medication finally kicked in, or we finally got onto the right medication because they were afraid to say something before with the wrong one, or I'm helping them find a group or a place to be for like emotional support and stuff like that. When it clicks, the light bulb moment.
I think you're absolutely right. That's got to be very gratifying. It's wonderful. What future do you see for community health work? How do you think community health work can continue to keep providing this sort of resource for? Do you see more coming down the road? What do you see for the future of community health work?
The field of community health work has actually there's been roles where people did a similar job, but not all the way job since like the 1980s.
Okay.
But community health workers weren't actually big until COVID hit.
Oh.
And that's when people started to need us in the community. And it was still such a small thing. A lot of people don't know about us. And there's actually the Community Health Worker Coalition of Montana that I'm a part of, where basically people, where they're either a community health worker or they don't have to be, they could just be an ally of community health workers, can share resources and benefits and talk each other through certain situations and stuff like that as a bigger support. And I'm hoping that the more that people hear about us, the more opportunities there will be.
That's phenomenal. If somebody is hesitant or is perhaps interested in seeking out a community health worker, do they have to have some sort of eligibility to seek out those services? What do they need to find those services?
So usually they could go through an independent living like Lyft, and they can go check out our website and our app, and they could call. At Lyft, we help the disabled and the elderly, but at other independent livings, they have different criteria.
Okay, so it would just be a matter of getting in touch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's phenomenal. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share as far as your experiences? Anything like that?
I don't know, just working one-on-one with a person. Like, it doesn't even have to be medical. Like, I've worked step by step with someone to just change around, like, how they do their schedule, how they do their life, how they work everything around their medical issue. Like, and that was beautiful. Like, they just changed their life so then they could feel better living with a disability.
So do you see them do you see them overwhelmed? I guess how I would articulate it.
Yeah.
Do you see them overwhelmed so much within that medical issue that it affects other aspects of their lives?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Like, it almost becomes your identity, and I feel like working through these specific issues can help it not become your identity anymore, and for you to become you again instead of what your diagnosis is.
I love that. I'm learning so much today. That's phenomenal. So oftentimes they come to you with apprehension,
Mm-hmm.
and they're probably overwhelmed with not only medical issues, but other things they have going on or other things. Do they find that their medical issues and their apprehension is what's holding them back from other things? Like, or is it just a step? Is it just one more step in the things that they want or need to do?
So it really depends on where they're at in their life, because
Mm-hmm.
like some people, they've really gotten a hold of their like medical side of it, but they haven't really been able to wrap their mind around doing anything else with that. They think, oh, this is what I can and cannot do. There's no other openings. There's no other ways I can live life differently. Like, I have to be safe and secure in my little bubble. But I show them different routes on how to do what they want without being worried about a condition, or they have a condition and they had no idea, and I take them to the doctor and figure that out and show them ways that they could still live the way that they have been.
That must be really empowering for them to come to realize that they can function wholly in their community and for themselves with their condition.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I bet that is great. I bet that's great to see.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you at Lyft, how would they do that?
So I'm on the Lyft website. My direct number is under like all staff, like on the Lyft website. My direct line is there. Also, you can call Lyft's main line, or you can go on Lyft's website that I mentioned or app, and you can get a hold of me that way.
All right. I love that. Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right. So like Rachial said, if you would like to get a hold of Lyft and would love to know more about the community health worker services that Lyft provides, or any other programs that Lyft provides, or classes or anything like that, if you want to know anything about what Lyft has going on, you're welcome to contact us at 406-259-5181. Go to you can find us online at www.lyft.org, and you can download our app at the iPhone store, the Apple store, or oh my gosh, where do we shop on Android?
Google Play.
Thank you. On Google Play. You can find us there too. So download our app. You can find us on Facebook. There's tons of ways. If you need any information about Lyft, please get in touch with us. Rachial, thank you so much for being here today. And we will see you next time on Living Well in Montana.